Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our overall market update. Look at the charts to see what's going on in the overall markets. I've got the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and a bunch of different companies that we're going to look at. Rates have been going up, the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield, and I'll pull that up here right now. Again, guys, please don't use this as financial advice or anything like that. It's just my opinion. But here are rates. Rates have been going up. Was up 3.34%. This is February 3rd, 2022 that I'm recording this. They've been moving on up, and this puts pressure on the stock market and on bonds. So if we were to look at the S&P 500, this is SPX we're looking at. You can see this thing pulling on back. So we came down. We had a good old bounce, another bounce, kind of a double bottom. We came on up, and then we got sold off today, with yields going higher. The Nasdaq is also selling off today, going quite a bit lower. And we are looking at these kind of big old patterns here. Well, I probably shouldn't hit that. I should hit like a 5-year. We squeezed on up on a rising wedge, and we broke to the downside, did a little bit of a return move, and could potentially be heading lower. Here's our return move up, and then we could potentially come on back. Chipotle is a company. We've broken the uptrend line, and I think we're going to head lower here, guys. You can see the bearish engulfing pattern here. That's a move to head lower. It did have good buying pressure here, so we'll see. Well, man. 1 second, guys. I might change my viewpoint. Bullish engulfing, small sell-off, bigger buy-off, little leak off of sellers. This actually is probably going to head higher. We could still head higher there. This looks a little bit worse than the other ones, because the sell-offs are a little bit larger than in relationship to the buying pressure. But we could still head higher. It still is salvageable on the very short term. This is Apple. It's kind of a throw over top. We'll see what happens. I don't really have much to say on that one. Amazon's not looking good. This guy's getting sold off hard. This is a bearish piercing here. Momentum heading to the downside, and it blew to the downside, down 7.81%. Facebook getting absolutely face slaughtered, down 26% today. Good volume. I don't know if this is coming back, guys. That's a pretty massive down day today. Looking at Google. Nice, good rounded top, but they released earnings and then they sold off today. Funny how a lot of I think it was Nancy Pelosi and some like actors and stuff, they bought options in here. Like they knew what was going to be released. I would say Google's a suspect company with all of those people involved, probably leaking news to people and doing insider trading is my guess. But we'll see. Baidu, Baidu's not looking too bad. But this thing's also had a massive sell-off. But that doesn't look anything like the other companies. Here is Visa down lower doing its return move. We'll see if this thing can break back into the pattern or if it's just going to roll over and continue lower. MasterCard, what I've got here, let me grab this thing here. We're right at the top of that pattern there. So we'll see what happens in this big old megaphone pattern if we move on up or if we head back on lower. The trade desk, TTD, bearish engulfing here, and we popped lower, down 6%. And that's what it looks like on a long term. We're still in the uptrend. It's still okay uptrend-wise on the big long-term uptrend. Roku has broken its long-term uptrend to the downside, the channel here. We've broken to the downside, and we're heading lower with some good steam, and it finished quite strong. We'll see if the momentum continues lower. MDC Holdings, this is a home company, a housing company. But let me zoom way out on this thing. We are right at the long-term support. And it looks like we're putting in a kind of a pattern here, potentially, where we're about to squeeze up into the top and probably break to the upside because we need to build a lot more new homes. So that's MDC Holdings. Hovninian, let me see if, I don't know how much, this is back to 84. Let me unlog this thing. One thing I was looking at is this thing's got a bunch of resistance right here. I think if we can break this white resistance line and break to the upside, we could see a big old move higher, a massive move higher if we break 150, 147, 150. We close above 150, guys, HOV is going to be a rocket ship. We've got nice, good buying pressure, smaller selling pressure. It's starting to settle down, and then we'll see if we can take another rip at it. Looking at the pattern back here, it hit its head, it came back, and then it just ripped higher. I do think that we're going to see a similar pattern to 2000. This was a huge boom in housing construction. I do think that's coming. So Hovinen is one that I do like quite a bit. LGIH is another home construction company that I like. So looking at this, we'll go back into the log, zoom out into a 5-year, and we're right at the support line there. Let's look at the daily candlesticks. Ah, man, this does look like it might try to break lower. It's trading with the overall market right now. KB Homes, that's another one. It's been just chopping sideways. Big picture view. Man, did I even put any lines on this guy? Come on. Oh, we got that. Ooh, this is kind of a ascending wedge if you look at it from that perspective. You can also draw a line kind of through here as well, because it's got all these resistance lines through there. So it's got to try to break through a bunch of stuff. This may head lower a little bit and rest for a little bit before moving on up. Looking at some other sectors, this is the fertilizer companies, IPI. This is one that I like a lot. Intrepid Potash. I think the fertilizers are going to have to go a lot higher. It's broken its downtrend. A little return move. I like buying on these return moves down here, and it's been heading on up recently. ADM's been on a tear. I don't know if we're going to continue to move higher in this one. I mean, it's been killing it. No, it still looks really good. Wow. Big long-term picture here. We've broken this big old pattern to the upside. I call this a monster pattern all the way back to 2005. It's been consolidating, and we've broken to the upside. This has a lot more room to run on a long-term perspective, I think. So that looks really good. Let's go to Nutrien, another fertilizer company. I like my fertilizer companies, guys. Really do. This thing looks good. It looks like it's going to continue to move on up. Let's back out a little bit more. That's all the data I've got. CF, I think this is what CF Industries, another fertilizer company. Looking at CF Industry Holdings, what I see here, let me back out. I see a pattern that broke like here, broke to the upside, and I would just be holding on to it, riding it higher. Mosaic is one that I purchased. I should have a line going across here. This looks fantastic to move higher. That's that nice falling wedge. I bought the living poop out of it all in here, and I've just been holding on to it. I'm not going to sell anything. This thing looks really good. EEM, Emerging Markets. This is another one I've been buying in my 401k. It's right there, squeezing up on this support line. And I think the dollar is going to go lower. I think this is going to go higher eventually. But that's one I own a little bit of money in, is EEM. Scrolling on up, it looks like the rare earths got hit today. I think we're doing a return move. It's quite obvious here. We're probably going to consolidate somewhere in here and then turn this boat around. But we are coming on back. I like the big picture view much better. This looks so much better. It's just pulling back, and we're going to hit a buy point in here at any second in this range in here. I would be cost averaging into REMX, the ETF. Lithium, we're getting that nice kind of contraction as well on this pullback. So that looks like it's trying to turn around for lithium. MP Materials, this is a rare earth. It's pulling on back today. Nice, strong sell-off. Looking at Syra Resources, this guy's just been moving sideways. We've got LYSCF, I think that's Linus Corporation. Linus was down. Looks like all the rare earths were down today in lithium of the ones that I'm looking at. Yeah, this looks like it's still in pullback mode. Livent Corporation, LTHM, another one that looks like it's pulling back. So it looks like they're all kind of pulling back. I don't know if I would be buying yet inside of them. Lots of selling pressure up in here. Very similar to like uranium almost. But yeah, let's look at some other companies here. Vale, V-A-L-E. Vale, still looking good. It's been going up, looks strong. So that one looks good. COPX, we're just bouncing above this pattern here. Still looks very strong. I like it a lot. Rio, so this is Rio Tinto. Again, still looks okay. A little bit of a bearish engulfing with the pullback here. We could pull back a little bit, but doesn't look horrible. BHP Group is still looking good. Might have a little pullback, but it's good. Glencore's been moving up strongly. I think short term will have a little bit of a pullback. Norilsk Nickel, NILSY. It looks like we were breaking here, and then all of a sudden it got jammed lower, probably because it's in Russia. We've got Tech Resources. It's been moving up, looking quite strong. That looks really strong. Freeport McMoran, yeah, a little bit of selling pressure here. I just hold on. Copper is going to be a really good bet for over the next years. So what I would do is I would just hold on to it. Don't try to trade in and out. Just hold on and ride it higher. Southern Copper, again, we've broken out of this pattern to the upside, doing a little bit of a return move. Just hold on to it. Bullish, piercing, little sell-off. I think this is going to resolve itself higher. Alphamin, AFMJF. Alphamin's looking strong. We've broken this little resistance area to the upside. I think it looks good. South 32, it's in this pattern that we're consolidating in, but this has been a very strong company to the upside. Looks good. Anglo-American Platinum, it's broken its little downward move to the upside, so that one looks good. It's probably just going to drift higher. Impala Platinum, IMPY, drifting higher, so that one looks good. And then Nova Royalty, we're right at doing a full retest on this breakout here. I would be a buyer down here. That's where I like to buy. So that Nova Royalty looks good as well. So that's what I've got for today, guys. That's kind of the overall market outlook. I think I touched on quite a bit there. The overall market, it's looking a little bit weak, but I still don't think it's completely, it's salvageable for another short-term return move up. But on the long term, like medium term and stuff, I don't think it looks that great. I think we're going to head lower eventually. So is the pullback in the overall stock market going to impact some of our commodity stocks? Yes, they will. Eventually, this is going to break apart. And then our commodity stocks, I think we're going to rocket higher. The 10-year yield's going up. If the yield's going up, it means they're not scared of a crash. The yield is causing the crash. The inflation and yield increases are causing the crashes in tech. So what that means is that eventually money's going to roll over into commodities, and we're going to get a big commodity boom. That's my opinion. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.